And she was right there. Like my action director, action!
So, welcome to this rocking, and I can say it before it's taken place, a rocking edition of Off the Cuff, OTC. And I know it's rocking because our guest is the biggest rock star of Hindi cinema, Ranveer Singh.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Welcome to Off the Cuff.
अच्छा मैंने आपको action बोला था कैमरा में. You know what happens in Hindi movies? When you're shooting, typically the action is set in the same mood as the scene. So if it's an action scene that you're shooting, the action director will call it and he'll be like, action! Or if it's one flair wala dance or something, the choreographer will be like, action!
Dance.
And if it's like a soft emotional scene and you're Vikramaditya Motwani who directed Lotera, he won't even, you can barely hear him. He'll just be like, action.
तो अभी डांस तो आपको करना पड़ेगा बरखा के साथ में वो तो मेरे को करना आता नहीं है.
So ladies, the deal is I will take a selfie with each and every one of you if you convince the very desirable Barkha Dutt to dance with me today.
Done deal. By
I'm not leaving.
By majority consent.
I'll happily lose my life over this.
Also, you know, it's an unusual experience for me, I think, except for the odd occasion when I have gone to speak at Fiki Ladies Organization. I have not seen so few men in my audience, although
film sets look like that, especially when you're doing romantic comedies. You know, like Adi sir, when he was putting the team together. It's very important that you put a team together that you feel will give the right energy to the film. So in a film like a romance, you know, ladies are obviously more sensitive beings. So Adi sir also had 80+% of women on our team. And I was very happy about that. Eye candy to hona chahiye na life mein.
He has experience of being treated as eye candy from the other side as well.
I have no issue being objectified, guys.
No, not by women. Also by men.
I don't mind.
So you have experience of being propositioned on a casting couch?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell them about it. I think they'll find it very juicy.
I love when I'm positioned as a sex symbol. It's like the best thing ever. I don't want to be known as the best actor or the guy whose films make the most money. Just call me the sexiest, the hottest, the most desirable.
Yes, you are.
That's all I want.
So
that's what gives me real fulfillment. Mona. Never forget a pretty face.
But tell them of when you were propositioned and how did you deal with that?
So this is
because
like,
you know, all the women also should learn then how to deal with casting couch in such situations.
I find it, you know, you'd think that an experience like this would be very dark or something, you know, for a person. You'd scar you for life or anything. I find it very amusing. And when I look back at it, I almost remember sitting there at some point in this interaction and observing this person as a character. You know, just I'll learn everything about him and just put him in my bank in case I want to, you know, in my life I have to play a creepy casting director. I will model myself on this man. So this is
Lucky Local.
Yeah. Loki Local. From Love, Sex or
Dhokha.
The creepy rock star. One of my favorite films, sir. Broke the mold, really. Brand new language for Hindi cinema in the same year as Band Baja Barat came out.
Absolutely.
So this is before Band Baja Barat. And I was about 21 years old, just got back from America, properly struggling for about a couple of years. And I'm about 23. And the struggle was real, you know. It was very hard. There were many, you know, the recession had hit. Not many films were being made. And not many films at all being made with new faces. Nobody was nobody had the fortitude to at that point back people on the basis of merit or talent. You know, all producers were very close-handed at the time. So less work was happening and that was very taxing for a newcomer. So when all these fellow struggling actors that I'd interact with, you know, friends of mine, friends that I had met in acting schools and whatnot, we used to always compare notes, you know, because we were all hungry for leads. Where's the next audition? You know, sometimes you'd be sitting on your butt for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks with no leads, you know, and where's the work happening? We need to know where to go to audition in order to put ourselves out there to kind of get the work. So there was this friend of mine, fellow struggling actor of mine, who said there's this guy and he lives in Lokhandwala and all, he's getting people some good work, why don't you go meet him? So I called him and he said, come to so-and-so place. So this is in the evening, somewhere in Andheri, which is now become like the hotbed, the hub of, the entertainment industry in Bombay. And I go and there's something very, very creepy about this place. Okay, I'm entering this dingy lane and there's the guy, he's waiting for me at the balcony and he waves to me. And I go up and I sit across him and I have no idea what's going to hit me, right? I handed him my portfolio, which is essentially an actor's calling card, your pictures in various looks to see how versatile you can look and whatnot. Typical. And my portfolio, having been an assistant director, mine was very impressive. I knew that, and a casting director typically gets 100 a day and he just puts it under his desk and you don't know the fate of them. You work so hard on making your portfolio attractive and then it just amounts to nothing. So I always made it a point that my portfolio, when I make it, having been on the other side, will be very impressive. That once you hold it, you can't put it down. You have to look at it. It's so impactful. This guy went like, oh, okay. So already I was like, that's never happened to me, that somebody takes my portfolio and doesn't look at it. Clearly he was not interested in the portfolio. And he started. He started with, are you a hard worker or a smart worker?
That's a pickup line, yes.
Is it?
That's what it was.
He tried to make it function that way for sure. So he said, are you a hard worker or a smart worker? And I was very honest. How can I say I'm a smart worker? So I said, I'm a hard worker. And he said, darling, why do you have to work hard? Just be smart, be sexy. जो smart है, जो sexy है, वो आगे निकल जाता है. And this conversation went on and he told me that this is a done thing. And it was very, very surreal because there was an artwork on his wall with all these abstract naked figures and like film magazines, and it was kind of murky.
Saxophone playing in the background.
I don't know what this
Soft
guy was
tones.
getting at. It came to a point where he was negotiating with me. After I realized what was happening and I wasn't having any of it, I was a very macho guy back in the day. So I was like, what do I do? I'm really offended right now. Should I just punch this guy in the face? Then I realized, okay, I'm just going to sit across him and study his character. I'm out of this situation right now. I'm going to view it objectively like a third party and see where this goes. At some point, he started negotiating with me. He's like, okay, we won't do anything. Just show me. I only want to touch. I just want to touch. And he was like, कल को मैं तुम्हें ये ऑफिस में भेजूंगा, उसके ऑफिस में भेजूंगा, and then you will say, take, touch. मैं तुम्हें पार्टियों में लेके जाऊं. He was fully trying to lure me and fully coming on to me. And as creeped out as I was, at some point I just saw I was just amused by this. And when he realized this is not going anywhere, he started behaving like a jilted lover. He walked out in a huff to the balcony. And he was just standing there with his hands on the railing like this. And I was like, is this meeting done? And he was just giving me all these sad Hindi film vibes. Not even talking to me, not looking in my direction or anything. It's just walking past me and all. It was a proper casting couch experience. And later when I compared notes with fellow actors, apparently this guy had also propositioned them in the middle of a cafe coffee day. He was like, let's go to the bathroom right now.
Oh, I see.
So it gets as creepy as that. And this is a guy who actually found some good work, and you probably know his face and name. So it's happened to the best of us, and it's a very, very real issue. Of course, it happens to guys, but I think it's a little more difficult. In my personal opinion, I think it's a little more difficult when women have to face it.
But this guy ended up jilted, sad,
Yeah, sad.
Not vengeful.
Oh, sex नहीं हुआ.
तुम अगर मुझको ना चाहो तो कोई बात नहीं.
Creepy
तुम
guy.
किसी और को चाहोगे तो मुश्किल होगी. Like that.
I remember I call him the alligator. His teeth like this.
Tell us, what's been a couple of the most fun moments for you in cinema? Because you are an outsider to cinema. You always wanted to be in cinema. You were not born in a cinema family, which is a disqualification, right? You came in a bit late in cinema. You actually had a job before coming into cinema, right? So tell us some of your more fun discoveries in cinema.
my most fun discoveries in cinema, what I love about being in Hindi films is that pretty much everybody who you're collaborating, it's a collaborative effort, it's a team effort. Almost everyone is truly passionate, and that's why they're working in Hindi films, right? I have a very cushy job, let me tell you, as a leading man, but everybody who's there, who's doing from the smallest job, seemingly smallest job, to the most important, seemingly biggest job, everybody shares a common passion for not just cinema, but mainstream Hindi films, and I love that. It makes for a very, very healthy working environment, and that's what I really love about Hindi films, that everybody who's a part of it is part of it because they really love it.
But give us a couple of instances, examples, events, happenings.
My first year, I was like Alice in Wonderland, because all these people I was meeting and interacting with and meeting for the first time. I mean, can you imagine standing for the first time in front of Amitabh Bachchan? It's like you're tripping on some acid or something. It's like, I can't believe I'm standing in front of Amitabh Bachchan and he's right here. Also, it also happened to me, I was majorly starstruck when I met Kareena Kapoor Khan. I was a huge fan of hers. I think I may have overreacted and thrown her off a bit.
So, describe to us what happened.
But it was like Alice in Wonderland. I was just starry-eyed, in my first year, second year. I remember on the first couple of days after Band Baja Bharat released, there was this whole thing that you'd hear that Shah Rukh Khan has 555 in every one of his numbers. His phone number, his landline, his mobile phone, his car has 555. So I'm sitting in the 2 days since Band Baja Bharat is released, and some 555 numbers calling me.